how to build their own faculties and not have corrupt governments, then they can solve
Yeah,
them.
but
Well, also
it's not that
easy.
easy. It's not as much as just saying, well, we're gonna teach you how to farm, so you don't ever have to worry about being hungry again. You have to gradually say, well, you guys, y'all are low on food, and y'all need to learn how to make your own food. So gradually, you help different farmers get how to do stuff. It's not as easy as just saying, you know how to plant stuff.
Over the last 6 decades, poverty-stricken countries, they've actually brought millions out of poverty with little to no help from foreign aid. So what makes this, like, why can't this be the same case in Africa?
Because, like, if we actually help Africa, then maybe if, like, we're having trouble in America or something, then Africa will come over here and help us.
Well, I did the math, and Berlin Conference happened in 1984, so it's only been 13 years. Well, I did math wrong then. Well, it hasn't been that long since all of this even started, so if we stop bottle feeding and let them do their own thing, and like for a long period of time, then they can solve it on their
Yeah,
own.
but it's
Like
gonna
the other
take a while. Okay, most
That-
countries.
But back to what Anna said about the missionaries, we're sending missionaries. Instead of sending, we are sending missionaries, but we're still sending money. Instead of sending $1,000, we need to send 20 missionaries with that money.
But how are they going to buy materials and stuff in Africa to build these certain things or make?
That's why we send the money
That's
with
why
them.
we're
But
helping
if
them.
we give them that money, how do you know that they're strictly gonna spend it on this thing that they're supposed to do?
Because we're
missionaries-
sending the missionaries.
missionaries.
The missionaries are gonna say, we brought $1,000 to help to install a well in your village. Well, the missionaries are going to stay there until the project is done. And then they're gonna say, now y'all have a well, so y'all can have water.
But
Okay, what if the well breaks? What are they gonna do then? Because they have to teach them how to fix it, and then they should discuss it.
Why just stop there? Why just stop there at building the well when you can go on to other things like teaching, like giving them the tools, giving them the tools to build the well, giving them the knowledge of knowing how to build the
That's
well.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
But if we give them those tools, then, sorry.
Like this was saying, why do you just give them more cotton candy when you give them the cotton candy machine? Why do you just give them the cotton candy machine when you just give them the whole candy store?
Because if we give them those tools, or we give them the whole machine, or the whole store, we're going to be giving them all we've got, and if we give them all we've got, we have none left over for us. And how we
Hunter, don't take this personally, but I think you're representing part of the selfish part of America, and that's the problem with this foreign aid, is America's being too selfish in it.
That's what I was about to say. You're acting like we're the most America's the most selfish country ever. It's like, well, we're not going to give you the money that you need to fix your government or pay for children to go to school or give cows to a village that really needs them. It's saying we're going to keep this money for ourselves so we can help, let's say, make this school that already has tons of computers and iPads and stuff, we're just going to give them more technology.
Well, what I am saying is that if we give them so much, we don't have any left over for us. Like, we can, like, give them some, that we can, like, give them as much as we want, but how's that going to backfire on us? I'm not trying to sound greedy. I'm not trying to sound very offensive or anything else. But if we sent them all this stuff, but we kept the some, but if we kept a whole bunch of it, why would they even have? Why would they even need it? And if we didn't give them as much as we did, and we slowly, gradually gave them little by little, if we were giving them so much right now, and we gave them little by little every day or every month.
Can I say something?
Y'all keep talking about giving them so much, blah, blah, blah. I want you to remember the videos we watched. Nobody has really referenced the videos that we watched. We saw the people with AIDS and HIV, the children, the grandparents raising the next generation whose parents have been lost. We saw the starving children. We saw the victims of genocide. We need to remember those are the people we're talking about helping. We're not just talking about going in and building fancy schools. We're not just talking about governments getting money to make themselves richer. We're talking about helping innocent people who are being slaughtered sometimes by governments or disease or famine or starvation. So just continue to think on that level too. Some of y'all are getting kind of off the topic, and I want to hear what Jaden has to say since she's been sitting there a while.
Okay, so, but have you guys realized we've already done that? We've already sent so much money and it's already been wasted, like we've been talking about, but. I mean,
Oh, sorry, yes.
this. Okay, good. But, you guys took my ideas.
I was just gonna say something about Miss Floyd. I was just gonna say something about Miss Floyd said about the starving children and stuff like that. Well, that population, we're expecting them to do like, building water pumps and having all this money and being able to do all this stuff. When really they're probably poor. They're probably get, I don't know, a penny a week in our terms. I mean, we get thousands and thousands of dollars every year. But they're probably getting, I don't know, a dinner scrap every night. They're probably getting a piece of wheat or something every night.
I don't think they need our money. What I think they need is our care
Yeah.
and to know that we're trying to help. But I don't think right now, they don't probably think that we're actually helping. They think we're just being lazy, like just sending money.
We can, we can,
It's sort of like that lady who started the school. She's from America. She started out as a missionary. We need to have more people like that that help in Africa. They stay there and they help open schools or they open a store that sells food. And it's not really so much for the profit as it is for helping these people.
I'd like to hear what Austin has to say.
Back on the well comment from earlier, like, why would you just put a well when you can just, like, send some of your own country's oil, send it down there and let, go, like, desalination factories and...
I was thinking,
And I'd like to hear what Ty has to say.
You're immediately turning the conversation.
I have a question. Why does aid cause corruption in African governments?
because,
Aid doesn't cause corruption, the government was already corrupt and they started taking the money away from it. It's not that the aid caused it.
Come to think of that is, it sort of came out crazy when he said it, but that is a pretty good idea. Like, Saudi Arabia did the desalination process, and Africa is so, like, drought-stricken and they don't have enough water. Maybe we could look to desalination as an option.
So if you remember that the AIDS killed a lot of people, and now that's left is all the old people and all the really, really young people. There's not a lot of people that are strong enough to do stuff by themselves. But what you said about like desalination and stuff, that will help mostly the countries that are coastal.
Yeah.
Because they're at the ocean where there's tons of salt water and stuff for desalination.
So that's what
But the countries that are in the middle of Africa that are totally landlocked, what are they gonna do?
well, it's a start.
Well, they can't really start with that either because you need a lot of oil to desalinate the water. And the dug up cartoon shows that we have taken like majority of the resources.
Actually,
You can make
If we were to desalinate, it doesn't, most of the time, it doesn't kill most of the bacteria. So eventually, some of the bacteria will somehow get that gene and it'll mutate to get that gene that makes it,
Hunter, I'm putting you on pause.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll let what Maddie has to say.
Maddie.
okay, well, I think that Floyd is helping because one of the articles that I read was about foreign aid
going to Africa to help with Ebola, and they're trying to find Ebola survivors, and they're just talking about how it can save everybody's life if they.
I wanna just throw this out here. I wanna go a long way back
Why are you
to
pointing at me when
Anna.
you said that?
when she said if we help them, maybe they could help us. Well, let's just remember who caused, or that was you. Let's just remember who caused this big old giant problem. And so why should we just be expecting help back when we're the ones who caused it?
Because
Well,
there
that's
was
going
millions
off the
and
thing that we
millions of
said.
people dying and we still.
But that's going off the thing that we said about Hunter and saying that we sound really greedy. We,
he was in here.
well, we're saying that we help them, and we might expect help in return. But we're not saying, we helped you, so you have to help us. We're saying, we're helping you because you need it.
Yeah,
That's what we're saying.
Rebecca looks like she's about to die, and she has been for like 10 minutes, so Rebecca, come join the conversation.
Okay, I have been thinking about this for like the past like 10 minutes. And why are we learning about this here when we can just go take it there and help them with it? We're sitting here debating it when we could actually be doing something about it. And I don't know, it just hit me that we're just sitting here going back and forth of why or why not we should help Africa when clearly they need help. They're dying. Like millions of people are dying over there and we're sitting here debating it.
Well,
You think I want to go to Africa?
number one, a lot of kids our age do not have some of our families do not have enough money for us to go to Africa. And number two, we're 12 and 13. And number three, we're it sort of reminds me of like Ebola or malaria and stuff like that. We might be vaccinated for something, but it's easier for children to get like life-threatening diseases over there than it is for.
I want to point out this proven fact that about the dying part. I want to point out this proven fact that 10 out of 10 people die. Just so y'all know.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not saying that people won't die.
Most people do. Alright, that was the most selfish comment that I've I mean not selfish, but that was the most stupidest comment.
Yeah. It's not saying that they're not going to die. We know that one day everybody's going to die, but we're saying there's little children, like babies that are a year old, that get sick and die, or they die of thirst, or they die of hunger. If we send foreign aid over there, we can help them and slow down the rate that children are dying and teenagers are dying.
I was just trying to start the conversation back up.
I have something for what Cassie said earlier about everybody having AIDS, and all that's left is the old people and young people.
It seems
It was
like
somebody over there.
Well, you know how everybody's getting almost infected with AIDS or HIV. Well, like Cassie said, we have only, like almost all of the adults or all the teenagers have eventually just died from this disease. Maybe we could send more of a medical aid instead of a money aid or industrial aid to Africa as drugs, as something more, doctors, nurses, to help these victims of the AIDS crisis.
And also, like, if you send more medical aid, why can't you make it more cheaper? So actually citizens could afford it or make it free. And Tristan's been dying to speak.
well, like you said, with the like sending what was it about? I just lost it.
The old,
I want to see
We want
Dayton's
Maddie to talk.
opinion.
We want Maddie to talk. She's been sitting over here in the hot seat for like 15 minutes waiting to talk. So,
Well, to go
Talk.
along with
Fine.
what Jessica was saying about how they need to send medical help, they also need to send foreign people to deal with education, because they've helped African girls go to school, and they provide Band-Aid solutions to alleviate some of the suffering.
that makes sense. If you educate people like how to be a plumber and how to fix wells, or you educate nurses to help sick people that have HIV and stuff, then a lot easier.
Okay, you're on pause now.
I want